In the real estate world, like it's been super frustrating for the last few years. I've been doing this for 23 years. So it's important, I believe, when we can jump on here and share some of our wins. Because I said it the other day when I was teaching in our community, like we don't always, I know I don't, I'm terrible about sharing wins. I do a lot of our shares on social media and graphics and images and all that crap, but to actually share like the story, I got to get better at that. And I even told our agents, like, we all have to get better at that. So I'm in my office right now. I just got back to the office and I was like a little overwhelmed with some of the wins that we've experienced this week because, again, it can be super challenging in real estate. And, there's homeowners out there and I think God puts people in my life. I know He does. I don't think I know. I know that He puts people in my life for a reason. Sometimes I'm like, man, like what? Where I look at this like client or customer or whatever as like this is could be a challenging thing. It's so rewarding when we get to the finish line, and sometimes it is a lot of hard work. Our job is freaking hard. It's super hard, but it's also can be so unimaginably rewarding. And so I want to share a few wins that we've had lately with you guys. We, I don't know what it is, but we get blessed to be able to work with people that are in financial trouble, quite honestly. And in the real estate space, 85% of the reason people sell is because of a life choice, either death, divorce, job transfer, job loss, baby, something like that, right? So most of the time, because the market that we've been in for the last few years, those are the people that we're working with. They're going through some kind of a life thing, right? And because the market's been so weird since COVID, COVID inflated home values to a value that wasn't real. And then, of course, it deflated now, especially in the Houston, Texas market. And the market's been correcting itself for 18 months now. And so home values have come down in many areas. And we may not even be done yet. They're not crashing, they just have normalized, right? Some sellers don't understand that and they have a hard time, like, comprehending that. They're like, but I'm giving my house away. I'm losing money. I'm like, no, you're freaking not. You're not giving your house away. This is what your home is worth. A home is worth what a buyer's willing to pay, period. So we've encountered lately, this year especially, people that have been in situations and they need to sell. And perhaps they bought too high. Perhaps they're going through a divorce. Perhaps their house has issues. And sometimes it takes a village to get things through. And when you're going through things in life, you can, especially if you're having to do it on your own and you're newly on your own, maybe you're going through a divorce, it can feel overwhelming and it can make you weary. And if you don't have the right partner, real estate partner with you, dragging you along or encouraging you or giving you hope or educating you on this is the process and this is why this is happening and this is what we can expect, it can be daunting, right? And so we've had several experiences lately where we thought it could be an issue that maybe we weren't going to be able to resolve, but we did. We did. And in fact, one of the houses that we closed on this week, our sellers had been in it for years. Well, it had a cracked slab and we needed to get it repaired, right? Well, it could be a substantial repair and it can actually blow the deal. And our good friends over at Level Check came in, assessed the situation, waited till we got under contract, fixed the foundation, got paid at closing. Buyers are ecstatic. They got like everything that they wanted. Sellers are over the moon happy. Buyer's agent was insanely amazing, probably one of the best buyer's agents I've ever worked with. And it was one of the smoothest transactions ever. These sellers had been in their house for like 28 years or 25 years, something like that. It's a substantial amount of time, right? They're so happy because they thought that it was something that wasn't going to happen because of the slab. And in fact, so much so that they had talked to cash offer people. And we do cash offers, like we buy houses. But if you're going to sell your house cash offer, and I do believe in that, there's a time and a place for that always. But if you can take it to the open market and be successful with the person, with a real estate professional that knows what they're doing, you're likely going to, if the maths, you're likely going to make more money, right? So in this particular situation, this seller had already talked to investors prior to talking to us. And so the math made sense. And I explained to them, trust me, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get this done. And you're going to walk away with a lot more money if you trust me than what you're thinking. And they did. They did. A lot more. Another example. Another seller at the closing table. He saw what he was going to walk away with. The title, Majestic Title, our favorite title company, sent him a screenshot. This is what, after the buyer signed, this is what your walkaway is. And he had like tears in his eyes. And he's like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? And I'm sitting next to him. And he's like, this isn't what we thought we were going to have. Like, I can do something with this. He can start over. He's older. He's got a chance, a second chance. He went through some things. His wife passed away a few years ago. And I said, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? And he told me where he was going to go. And he said, I can never thank you enough, like ever. I literally, this is what he told me. I had lost hope. Like he said, I was on my own. Like I didn't see this happening. I didn't know what I was going to do, quite honestly. And he was in a situation where his mortgage company had done some crappy stuff and he needed to sell, right? And so not only did it get sold, it didn't get sold to an investor. There's a family that will be occupying it. He ended up walking away, hugged me, happy. He's moving on back home where his mom is still alive. She's 86 years old. He's like, I feel it in my heart. Like I need to go spend time with my mom. His kids are there. Like it was such a, man, it's not about the money. Well, not for me anyway, not in real estate. It's about the experiences. Even though sometimes they're so dang stressful, it's getting to the finish line. When you promise someone that you would, you don't lose hope. Like on my side, I don't lose hope. I'm going to keep praying and believing that we're going to make it. And I'll leave you with one last one. This is another one. This was a buyer. I have more that I could share, but I won't keep you guys. It's Friday night. But this one was so cool, I have to share it. This buyer came across our radar, right? Into our world. She's currently renting something. She wanted to go buy a house. So she's been looking at homes with one of our agents. And they found an awesome home. She applied for loan approval. She has a little bit of a gap in her employment because she switched jobs. So she was worried that she wasn't going to get loan approval. They had quoted her a certain interest rate. It was good interest rate, right? She needed her payment to be this certain amount. I'm not going to give numbers, but she needed the payment amount to be a certain amount for her comfort zone. Single mom. She wanted her child in a good environment. Master plan community was important. A good environment, good schools, all that. So we had to make it happen. Had her payment amount set to a certain amount. They said they're going to do their best. So they came in a little bit high. She was still like, okay, let's proceed. Then they came back a couple of days ago and they're like, well, actually, you don't qualify for that interest rate. But we have these options. One is this, which I was like, I don't like that option. They said, or we'll offer you a 5-year ARM at a 3.8 interest rate. And so her response, thankfully, she listened to us and talked and involved us in the decision. But her response originally was, I don't want this financing that can move around like that. I don't want an interest rate that's going to adjust like that. Like I need a fixed payment. And I said, you're crazy. This is fixed for 5 years. 5 years. You can sell your house in 5 years and you won't ever have to worry about it adjusting. We can refinance your house in 5 years and not worry about it adjusting. Like 5 years is a long time at a 3.8 interest rate. When she finally understood it, that this is and I said, if you get a clear to close on this interest rate, Do you know how wildly blessed you are? Like, no one is getting these interest rates. What you saw as a denial wasn't a denial. It was God saying, oh, hold on. Like, I got one better for you. I'm going to give you this one. So she got cleared close about an hour ago at a 3.8. She's going to close. She's going to buy a house next week, not rent anymore, at a 3.8. And you know what? I should copy the screenshots of our group text. Guess how much money she's going to save in her monthly rent, okay? She's renting right now. So she's paying someone else's mortgage right now, throwing dollars away. She's going to save $500 a month off her rent, and she's buying. And we secured her in a good neighborhood, a master plan community with great schools, where her asset, because the home that she's buying is an asset, will appreciate in value. Maybe not right now because it's new construction and we're in that kind of a market. But in 5 years, I can promise you it will. And I told her that. I said, do you realize how wildly blessed you are? You are about to move into a brand new home. You're going to save $500 a month. You're going to be in an amazing community with pools and all that. There's still time left in the summer for her son to go to the pools. Like, God is so good, y'all. So good. So if you're watching this and you're in the real estate space and you're not getting any wins like that, like maybe check your environment, because we're here to help people win every day. And we're here to celebrate wins. And if you're a buyer and the market is daunting to you because you're like, these interest rates are so high. The interest rates aren't high. The interest rates are where they're going to be. Like, don't wait for them to come down. They may not. But 3.875, would you like to get one of those? We know where to get them. They're out there. Talk to us. And sellers, it's so refreshing when you let us guide the ship. As long as you're letting the professionals guide it. Like, there's a lot of unskilled, untrained agents out there. I get it. The lunch bunch is all over the place. Be careful who you talk to. Make sure that they're part of a group or that they have a history of selling houses and they know what they're doing. Make sure they know their numbers. Make sure they have a marketing plan. These things matter. So there's some wins for you guys on this Friday. Go enjoy your Friday night. Celebrate for those wins that I just told you, because they're freaking awesome. There's so many more I could share, but I'll save them for another day. Adios. Bye, guys. Have a great Friday night.